Hello everyone, I'm Fredrik, I'm from Forsway. And what an amazing room it's been, and what an amazing day. Thank you so much, Magnus and the team that you've arranged here. So I'm very impressed by all the presentations and by all the discussions. I'm not a technical guy, so we'll end up with more on a business focus. But I will tell you a little bit about Forsway, where we are today, and where we're going in a couple of years. That's up, of course. And then finish off with a few use cases. So we were founded by, so we've been flying a little bit higher, and now we're coming down to the ground. So we do work on the ground. We have our backend hub, and we have our routers out in across the globe. So we have about 50,000 installations around the world, founded by Nokia executives from the R&D in Linköping, based out of the satellite TV industry. And we just secured 4.6 million euros from the ESA for the IRIS² program. The business focus is both, of course, continue our technical development, providing and building the two-way satellite communication, and also working on our regular business, day-to-day business, and that's connecting the underserved and undeserved. And we are also working with distribution centers, one for India and one for Africa. And in scaling up mode, we're about 20 years old as a company, but still very small. And just before going into this, my background is from business and from diplomacy, and I've been working 14 years in large countries around the world, working with large project financing. So my job at Forsway is, I'm in the board and I'm an investor in Forsway, and I work with financing of our clients. And we have currently a solution which is a hybrid version that we have downlink from satellite and uplink over the telecom solution. And here you see a hub, the backend hub, and our router, which is, I should have brought it, of course, but it's a quite small one, and you can connect it through a TV dish in the healthcare center, in the school, or at your house. Looks a little bit like this. Very short presentation. You can always follow us on LinkedIn, or you can follow us online. And so this is what we do right now. And we are not really in the dense urban population, we're rather in the suburban and semi-rural population, and also very rural. On the very rural, where you have no connectivity at all, we can do more or less only multicast, or cast down to people. So it's, for example, in a solution where you want education material, you can always send material, but you cannot use connectivity, you cannot have internet access in that situation. But in most countries and most people do have some sort of 2G solution or 3G solution, and then we can connect them and give them internet. Yeah, and that's about 4 billion people in our sort of target group for the underserved. But you can also boost connectivity in areas like in the United States, where you have about 30 million people without good connectivity. And then it's Delhi, Nairobi, and well, of course, streaming content for people and content distribution. That was where we are today, and then going on to where we are tomorrow. Well, we talked a lot about dual use cases, and tomorrow we will have a two-way solution, and then our router, which would cost about $150. We have a very cost-efficient solution to provide connectivity to a lot of different places. Infrastructure, yeah, and military, of course. They are the large use cases for the future. And that's what we call the Extend 5G, which is a seamless two-way satellite solution. We're also combined with mobile connectivity. And this is where we got this money now from ESA to fast forward this solution. And the main differentiators, of course, from Starlink, Kuiper, etc., is that we, of course, can provide. We don't have the satellites. That's the main problem, I would say. But main advantage as well is that we can provide a solution independent to our clients. So, for example, in Kazakhstan, the Ministry of Health, they would want a solution to connect the digital rural health, connect the different healthcare centers, and then you have about 4,000 of those, and they are not interested in having to rely on a particular solution provider, but rather have it by themselves, and also to develop it a little bit by themselves. So we can provide a platform for end user development. We are compatible with both GEO, we work a lot with GEO, and LEO satellites. And this, I just want to highlight a little bit on the multicast, because one thing, of course, Starlink, we are competing with Starlink in many markets. We're, of course, so much smaller and not really a competitor in that sense, but we can provide multicast. You can store about 1 terabyte of data onto our small box, and that box can, of course, you can then reach that box over Wi-Fi. So it's a free for the user, for the end user. It can be completely free of use, and that could be information, that could be entertainment, that can be other kind of material. We'll also show you this is a short roadmap. We're a tech company. We brought up as a tech company, but now we're moving more into a sales company and a scale-up company for global scale-up. And finally, two small use cases. And that the first one would be done in the Philippines. We are already in a lot of police stations, connecting them. But this is that you have about 11,000 small isolated villages. It's about 20 million people that we are looking into maybe connecting to, putting them online. And there's a huge gap. And just to give you sort of a small indication, this is just to go to the small village of Santa Ines, 60 kilometers, less than going to Uppsala. You have to cross 7 rivers, you have to go through shallow waters, you have to go over 2 mountains. It's quite difficult to install things. And broadband, like if you do fiber, that is not going to work. And it's not, they don't have connectivity either, so in that case you need to put up a small cellular mast as well, small telecom tower. But the gap, and this is a middle income country, the gap of telecom towers is about 50,000. All the telecom companies in Manila or in the Philippines, they are mainly focused where the money is, and that's not in Santa Ines. Communication wins wars. We have talked about military, and Ukraine is of course our main top of mind right now, because we want to support them as much as possible. We're sending material in next week to Kiev to provide them with a platform that they can build their own solution on. We don't know what they want to work on, although we know that they would want, of course, secure information on where to shoot. So that we can provide, of course, but they will also be able to find their own ways and be creative on our platform at the front line. Yeah, that was more or less what I was going to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we're going to the last speaker.